Hi, this is Henk. Welcome to another edition of the Soul Sessions. My guest is Benjamin L Newmark. Is that correct?
Yeah, you nailed it.
All right, awesome. All right, man. So let's talk about what you got going on.
Uh, well, uh, cool. Thanks for having me on the show. First off, it's great to be here. I'm here primarily because talking about The Last Cabin. It's my newest film we have out on Amazon. Just found out today it's currently the number one highest grossing found footage film of the year,
Oh, it's
which is
awesome.
yeah, it's pretty awesome for a micro budget independent film to just fly past all these bigger, larger, multi-million dollar productions. Just a little movie that keeps on going.
Okay, awesome. Is it kind of like I liked the Blair Witch, but I know a lot of people were hating on it, but they were hating on it not knowing it was an indie movie that like blew up big. But what did you kind of do that vibe? Did you do something different?
It's well, found footage as a genre is incredibly divisive because the people that get it and like it, they swear by it. They don't want to watch anything else. They just want something that feels real, feels immersive, brings you in, and makes you feel like you're part of the action. That's what Blair Witch did so well. None of us knew it was a movie. We thought this was real. And
Right.
that's continued now where there's found footage
Well,
that can
I
range
saw
from
it at like a
comedy.
little tiny indie cinema, and so we everyone like it just come out. No, like it hadn't been bought by a big studio at that point, and I know that they were marketing it as like found footage of a real event, but we all kind of knew it was fake.
I had no idea when I saw it. We heard about it because this was still back with newspapers.
Right.
So we heard that this was almost like a snuff film. So we saw it. We had no idea. We spent all weekend as kids like, I can't believe what that was. What was at the end? What happened to those people? And then Monday, I'm watching MTV and TRL, and there they are, just regular. What?
So I
It's
guess
crazy.
they didn't die. Yeah.
Then I was like, wait, that was a movie? I didn't know you could do movies like that. And then I fell for it again with a film called The Last Broadcast, which is a movie about the Jersey Devil.
Right.
My whole life, I thought that was a real documentary I saw. And it wasn't until, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago where I realized, oh, that was just a fake movie. This whole time I thought that was a real oh, fell for it again. So from that to now, it's more of its own genre. People know what they're getting into. You still have the illusion that it's reality, but at the
Right.
same time, people are watching where this is a movie. Like if you're going to see Superman, you know this isn't a documentary about an alien. You're not telling a real
It might
story. It's
be. You never
fantasy.
know. It might be. Yeah. Oh, no,
Soon, maybe.
I interview a lot of authors, and like a lot of authors write in third person, which is what Stephen King does. But a lot nowadays written in first person. So I compare found footage movies to kind of like first person, like
Yeah,
you know,
it's a it's
it's
a way
by
to
the
bring
moment,
you
like you're
in.
experiencing everything by the moment through the eyes of the narrator, or the actor or whatever. But it's like and like found footage movies, it could work incredibly well. It could be very crappy. It depends
Yeah,
on how it's pulled off.
yeah. Found footage is hard, especially as an actor, because if you're doing a long scene, it's a 4 minute scene in which everyone has to do their absolute best. And not only that, the cinematography has to be good, the lighting has to be good. For found footage, you'd be surprised how much work still goes into creating the perfect shot. So if someone is not at their best take, but that is the most usable take, that's going in the movie. And that's one of the trickier things about it, where you flub a line, you got to keep going. That's going to be in
Right.
the movie, and sometimes it can add to the realism because in real life, people slur their words, they talk backwards, they don't know what they're saying half the time. But suddenly, when it's in a movie, people go, "Oh, that's a terrible actor," not
Well,
realizing that
I've heard
it was
endless
on
incidents
purpose.
where the actor in actually a big budget, not like a found footage movie, will make an accident, like make a mistake. But like that was actually like a cool development, so they'll keep it in the film.
It's that happens all the time. It's
Yeah,
just that weird thing about found footage, or just horror in general. People like to really nitpick at things for some reason. Where, if I go do a Hallmark movie or something like that, no one's really nitpicking the acting as much. But when it
right.
comes to horror, people just they want to attack it for some reason. And then the people who love it, are there the front line to defend everything about it. And it's weird. I
I
read a
feel like people
review.
have gotten more that way about everything.
Yeah,
Whether it's music
everything's
or
divisive.
books or films or whatever.
Yeah, and it's weird 'cause I read a review today that the guy said, I can't stand these POV. You could see people looking at the camera and talking directly to you. I can't stand people breaking the fourth wall. And reviews don't bother me, good, positive, whatever. But this is the one person I want to reach out and be like, you are dumbass. It's found footage. The person is recording it. It's introduced in the beginning. Someone is holding a camera who's part of this crew recording this movie. They're not talking to you, the audience member, you idiot. They're talking to somebody else.
Right.
That was the one that, a bad review doesn't bother me, but a dumb review, or
I
maybe
feel like
drives me crazy.
the rest of the author community is kind of like, when somebody gets bad reviews, they're like, oh, now you're an official author. Because you're not official until you got at least one bad review.
Oh, if that makes you official, then I'm going to the Hall of Fame. I collect them like candy. Oh, with the new one, it's not as much as I'm used to. Normally, you get the people that love it are really good reviews. The people that are checking it out pretty good, and the people that accidentally stumble into it just hate you. But this one, a lot of people are stumbling into it and going, "Oh, that's not what I thought it was going to be. Not bad. I liked it." Or did not see this coming.
Well,
I
the
had no
best
idea
are when
what this was
people
going to
go
be.
off on something that, like, it's not a fault of the movie. It's like their own personal tick. Like they'll be like, I remember there's like one anthology I was in, and there like somebody gave the anthology a 1-star review because there was not even my story, but there was a story about like atheism, like him making money. God, and they're like, since when is atheism a thing in horror? It's like, dude, if you don't like it, just move along.
It's
Calm the
horror.
fuck down.
Horror is everything. Horror is that one genre that it's not sexist, it's not racist, it's not anything. It's
Right.
the genre of horror. If you want to be like campy 80s horror, it's very oversexed and gory. If you want to be a modern horror, you got to go something that's going to be psychological and gory. If you want to go that early 2000s, you're just going straight gore. It's something that
Well,
appeals
I've
to
seen people
everyone at
downgrade
different
horror
time
over
periods.
everything from like, well, since when are there curse words? You don't need curse words. Or since when is there atheism? Or since when is there blood? Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, dude, like at the end of the day, it's a movie. It's there
Right.
for enjoyment. And it's that thing of you're the bottom rung, and some films are just there, and just horror lives there. For me, I talk to a lot of other actors that they won't do horror movies because they think it's bad for your career.
Oh, really?
But like not working is better for your career.
Well,
They'd
like
rather not
Jack
work.
Nicholson, The Shining, like
Yeah, it's
how
just,
Kurt
but it's
Russell, The
weird.
Thing, how did that hurt them?
Well, that's one of my favorite movies, but I've
Yeah.
even talked to casting directors that they won't look at reels that are primarily horror. And I just
Wow.
never understood that because, I started doing stage and drama and I've done all of it. And I can tell you there's no difference in my performances between classic drama or stage or horror. It's the same prep, it's the same everything for an actor. It's a different genre. And, my career didn't really take off
Well,
until I
you
started
would
doing
think
horror
horror
movies.
actually would make the actor like act more strongly. Like it would be like a better view into how good their skills were if you could pull off that tension or that surprise or whatever. Where if it's like just a standard movie, like they don't have as wide a range of expression. I don't know. I would think.
Well, you know what's funny about it? And I look at it this way, where a lot of actors start in horror. So that's maybe why it gets a bad rep. And a lot
Okay.
of horror, it's not focused on the performance, it's not focused on the acting. It's more about the killer, the kills, the gore factor, and make sure the pacing's right. So as an actor, your job is to take something that's just bland on paper half the time and enhance it and make it good. And that's where the challenge comes from an actor's. How do I take this two-dimensional character that's just here to die and do something extra with it? How do I make him special? And that's where I think a lot of people don't understand. Horror is the best training ground. Horror is the best way to enhance and work and study your craft because when you see a bad performance in horror, it's not so much the actor as it is, hey, they're just doing their dialogue. They're doing what they're told to do, and their job is to come out,
Is
move the
how
story along,
well
and
written
die.
the dialogue is that
Yeah.
they expound. Yeah, but I mean, there's a certain amount like how witty is the dialogue. Like, if it was
Yeah.
like Cormac McCarthy, it's probably amazing. If it was like, I don't know, like who's a really bad writer? I mean, there are a ton of them, but
And
if it was like if Michael Bay wrote the script, it's gonna fucking suck. It doesn't matter. It just yeah, it
Michael Bay
doesn't
is
matter.
awesome. Michael Bay is the man because his movies make so much money.
Have you ever seen Team America World Police?
Absolutely.
Do you remember the scene where like one of the main characters is on a motorcycle and he just broke up with his girlfriend? He's like,
Oh
I miss you
yeah.
more than Pearl Harbor, Miss Hawaii. I love you more than Michael Bay sucked. Yeah.
I think he's another one of those guys that just gets a bad rep. But every time he's got a movie, I was like, I'm gonna see it because visually it's gonna be fun. It's gonna have some crazy stuff in it, and it's just gonna be a way to turn my brain off and enjoy it. And even though Armageddon totally
Well,
doesn't
some
make
of them
sense, I love that movie.
like like when people like violate like an actual like law, then that kind of shuts down the whole movie. Like you do Armageddon, and like the whole thing in Armageddon is like Bruce Willis like drawing. He's like, wait, I heard something, dude. It's fucking space. You don't hear shit. So
The
that
thing is, like,
ruined the whole movie.
see, for me, it's okay. I'm gonna get invested in this. It's a fantastical story. So when you have a fantastical story, just throw the rules out. We're not grounded in
Yeah, but
reality. I'm
you
not
can't hear in
watching.
space. There's nothing there.
We also don't have a giant asteroid coming, and we're not sending miners to go mine an
Well,
asteroid.
it's true,
None of
but
it
I
makes
mean,
sense.
I,
That's
I, I
what's the that's the
maybe,
fun of it.
maybe I'm a little OCD,
Yeah,
but
like
maybe I'm a
if
little
that
bit Asperger's,
there,
but it bugs me.
I mean, he also did a movie with the giant talking turtles that for some reason these little turtles were 7 feet tall. And you know what?
I don't know.
First one
I
wasn't
remember
bad.
seeing a
First one
movie
wasn't
on
terrible.
USA. It was like killing cockroaches. It was like cockroaches from space. Yeah, I've seen lots of like bad feature movies.
Have
But
you ever
anyways, all right.
seen
So let's
have you
get
ever
back to
seen
your
Meth
project.
Gator?
I was talking about like bad movies all day because I've seen way too many bad movies.
I don't think there's enough bad movies because I can tell you like, one of the most fun times I had was doing Meth Gator, attacking the Meth Gator by the asylum. The same with the Sharknado. And
I've seen that. Did you see Rubber about the
no,
killer
is that the
tire?
tire movie? Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah,
It's the tire movie. Yes, I have seen that. I
yeah.
forgot that was a thing.
That one was actually see. I don't mind if it's bad, but that was boring. So I thought that movie like didn't make it just boring. I mean, there are movies that are like they're like over the top, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but that was a cool movie. I enjoyed it because it's like over the top and like it's over the top and it wasn't boring.
I think that's the most important thing when it comes if you're gonna do a B movie. It's
Right.
super important. You can do whatever you want as long as it's not boring. You can go
Exactly.
crazy
Yeah.
and wild and insane, and I'll stick through it for the entire 90 minutes. But if you're boring, I gotta tune it out.
Like I love. Did
Just
you see Black Sheep?
the Tommy Boy movie or the Chris Farley movie?
I don't remember who did it, but it's called Black Sheep. It's about like basically zombie sheep.
Oh, oh, I
It's
know what
like
you're talking
I
about.
think it's Australian or it's from New Zealand. I'm not sure, but it's
Yeah, I
like
know I've never seen it. I know which one you're talking about.
like
The
it's definitely not like an A+ movie. It's definitely like a B movie, but it's like an amusing B movie. Or like Motel Hell, if you ever saw that. It's like it's
yeah,
an amusing B movie.
that's what that's one of the things I like whenever I'm doing anything horror related is I always want to make sure no matter what it is, I don't want to be boring. I
Yeah.
want to bring something to it. And I take a lot from Nick Cage. Nick Cage's horror films.
The
Oh my
bees, the bees.
dude, like it wasn't boring. It's a bad movie. It's not boring. And then you appreciate that when you get to something like Mandy or Colorado Space or Colorado Time.
The
I
Color
forgot.
Out of Space I loved. I
Yeah,
didn't think Mandy
because
was great, but I loved the Color Out of Space.
oh, but that's finally like Nick Cage has done the same thing he's always doing, but now he's doing it in a movie that's good. So
But
everything else that he does,
sometimes, like the first couple I saw, where I saw Wild and Hard and I saw Raising Arizona, so I was like, he's actually a really good actor.
oh, he's a great actor.
And then I saw like a bunch of movies where like it was like Nick Cage playing Nick Cage. It wasn't really Nick Cage playing someone else, but and the movies weren't that great. But like I don't hate Nick Cage. I know people hate on him. I don't hate on
He's one of my favorite actors because I just have
him.
this appreciation for his ability to take a script and look at it and know that you're going to make some choices that are insane and crazy. But he's also the only person that's going to make those choices. So just watching him go for it every time, throw caution to the wind and say, for no reason, I'm just going to scream this entire scene. Or I'm just going to maniacally laugh. And the screenwriter's looking at go like, what? That's cool. I don't know what that's not what I wrote, but that's awesome. And that's just Nick Cage going for it. And I love actors that are willing to go that length, especially because if that's what we're seeing in the movie, how far did they go? They got left on the cutting room floor because I know I've gone absolutely insane and just trust the editor to make sure I look good. Because sometimes I just swing for the fences. I'm throwing my swinging as hard as I can, going as wild as I can, and if the director's got to reel me in, great. But ultimately, I'm trusting you as an editor to make sure I don't look stupid because I'm going to intentionally maybe look a little stupid with what I'm doing, or it could work and it's going to be great. So I just
Oh,
appreciate anyone who's willing to do that.
one guy I think always swings for the fences, but it's always it's over the top. It's always appreciated. Is Gary Oldman? Like he's one of my favorite
Yeah,
actors.
dude,
It's like you
he's
can't beat him.
phenomenal.
Like he's a pimp with dreadlocks. You think
True
he's
romance,
black? Yeah, he's amazing in that movie. So
incredible performance.
yeah, yeah. And then he's like Dracula. And then, like he plays so many different roles.
And then
And
he's Commissioner Gordon,
I know, and that's
and he's
exactly
just
what I'm saying. Yeah,
crushing Commissioner Gordon.
yeah, yeah.
Suddenly he's a hard-nosed kind of baffling cop, and you're like, it's just brilliant. Everything he does is great. Why is he timid right here? Just
And then
everything
he's
he
like
does is
in
good.
War on the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, like everything he's in. The Fifth Element.
Yep.
Yeah, he's
And
amazing
again,
in
if it's a
that.
lesser actor, all that stuff probably doesn't work.
Oh, definitely not. He's got to be over the top, and he's so good. He pulls it off. But there are people that are more character actors, like Nick Cage. I consider Nick Cage more of a character actor, but like Christopher Walken. I love Christopher Walken. I mean, he was in like some lame ping pong movie, and it was just awesome because it's Christopher
Oh,
Walken.
Balls of Fury.
Yeah.
And then you see him do I can't think, the one where he played the Antichrist, where he's just terrifying and brilliant. And then you see him in Pulp Fiction, where he just tells one of the
Oh,
greatest
he was
monologues of all
amazing in
time.
Pulp Fiction.
But
I
then he's
loved
in
it.
Joe
It's
Dirt,
like
and he's hysterical.
I had this uncomfortable hunk of metal stuck up my ass.
It's just the way he chooses to say it, where he's going to emphasize everything he
Oh
says.
yeah, yeah.
It's things that if you're in an acting class, they're going to tell you, yeah, don't make that choice, it's a bad choice. But why? It's good. And you're like, it's not, but I'm going to win an Oscar.
Well,
Like,
it's
all right,
good
fuck it.
when
He was
Christopher
great.
Walken
Yeah,
does it.
that works for him.
Yeah.
Awesome. And it's weird. Like, I guess almost all actors have their ticks. Like, I know I have this weird tick where I just seem to repeat myself. So I'll say something and I'll say it again. And it works. For me, it works. I would never tell another actor, what you should do? You should repeat that, say two ways for no reason. Why? I don't know. It just works for me. It's a weird speech pattern I have that I do whenever I'm playing a character for whatever reason. It works. If I saw another actor do it, I would think it's stupid and terrible. No one's ever called me out on it.
Well,
though.
I think everything works for the person if it works. Like
Yeah,
that almost didn't make sense, but like William Shatner, like he talks like this, but it
exactly.
works for him. And he how long is his career been? He's like what, 90?
Yeah, I think he's probably around there. Or even
Yeah.
the other, Jennifer Aniston has this weird way of saying nothing, but she makes that weird face.
Yeah.
That she can do so much by just making a couple of different faces at you that anyone else doing that looks silly. But when she does it, it crushes every single time. Like no one else can just make that face where they just stare at you and give you 100 different emotions. But when
Yeah,
she
I
does
never
it,
thought about it. You're right though. Yeah.
I know whatever she's doing, I know exactly what her emotion is, what her intention is, what her drive is, just based off the face she's making in that moment. And it's
Like
just
she's sending you a
exclusive thing
message
to her.
on her personality or outlook by her eyes, by your face. Yeah.
Yeah, the nose scrunch, the lip, the eyes, the hair. It's an exclusive thing that she can just do. So yeah, everyone's got their own little things. But again, she started in Leprechauns. And if you look at some of the reviews for that, everyone shit all over her. She couldn't act. And then a couple years later, she's one of the biggest stars in the world on Friends. So it's like
Then she
it's
marries Brad Pitt, and then yeah, but after that, it's like a whole long history. But all right, man. So let's go back to what you have out. What do you have out? What can people look at? How can they get a hold of
um
you?
yeah, let's run through it. Right now, the new one has The Last Cabin. That's available for rental on Amazon. But if you're anti-Amazon, it's available on about 20 different streaming platforms. Currently, the number one found footage movie, I think, in the entire world, which is insane. And for anyone who's interested in found footage, watch it. For anyone who's interested in kind of a slasher movie, watch it. For anyone who just wants to support indie horror, this is a great one to watch. But I've also got that just launched today on YouTube is Forest of Death, which in 2024 was one of Rotten Tomatoes' top 25 horror films.
Oh
So that's
yeah,
now
awesome.
that's
Yeah.
that's free now available on YouTube. It's still one of my favorite films. It's a campy horror. It's the one that kind of jump started my career again, and also just launched on Found TV, which is an entire found footage streaming service. Which if you're really into found footage, this is where you want to go, or even if you just want to dabble in it, go watch Found because it is an incredible collection of films. But A Cold Grave, which was kind of a sequel to Forest of Death, I played the same character but different. It's almost like an Elseworld story. That's available on Found. That is one of the darker, crazier found footage films that you're going to find. That's one I took a lot of Nick Cage from because it's basically me in the woods for 88 minutes talking to a camera. And again, my goal was to not be boring. No one has ever called that film boring. Some people have said it was bad. Some people said they didn't like it. No one has ever called it boring. So those would be the big three that are out right now. They're all by the same studio, DBS Film Studio, which is, it's kind of like my home base as an actor. Go off, do something else, and you come home and do another one. Go off, do something else, come home and do another one. Just, when you get that rhythm of working with a good group of people that you trust, love being around, you love creating with, that's one of the best things you can have as an actor because I can go do a film, and I did. I'm not going to mention it, but it was a miserable experience. And I was so angry I accepted the role. I was pissed off the whole time. The schedule was bad. The whole experience was just miserable. And I just kept thinking, like, God, I wish I was on a DBS film set because this wouldn't be happening. And if we were having timing issues and something was happening, I'd be having a great time because something else would be happening rather than the minutia just dying because you know the director lost control of the set, the producer pulled out funding. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong that when you have that
Are
group that
those
you're like,
actually things that happened?
yeah, it was a nightmare, man. And there's a reason that at this age and where I'm at in my career, I'm super particular with what I do. I don't feel pressure to have to go out and work anymore. I don't feel like I have to jump on every offer that comes to me. I'm very comfortable and happy to say no and turn things down all the time if I don't trust the production, if the director not, if I just don't feel like I mesh, if the money's not right, that's a big one. If certain things aren't met, I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to piss myself off. I don't want to waste my time in life. And I got kids, I got a wife, there's a day job, so I don't need to go just jump at everything. Now, occasionally I do just know, knock the dust off. So if a friend or someone I trust is doing something, oh, I'll go jump in that. And it's crazy because I'll turn down something that's paying a lot of money, but it's just not a right fit to go do something for almost no money because my friend asked me nicely. And I
Yeah.
trust them more. And I think they're going to do a great job and they're going to make me look
Also,
good.
if you do just consolation, if you do the horrible thing, that's gonna follow you.
Yeah. And it's like, you don't want to be attached to that kind of stuff. But even that, like, if it comes out and it does bad, whatever. But the worst thing is, I've done probably over 100 projects. About 45 of them have never seen the light of day. Which is, and that's not crazy. Most indie actors are, most of our work doesn't come out. One of my best performances will never see the light of day because the producers had a falling out. They all own separate rights. They each cut their own version of this film. I've seen all three. All three aren't bad. They can never come out. They'll never be released because they'll never agree. I don't think they've even spoken in years. So it's just a wasted performance. There's two I did last year or 2 years ago that I was really excited for. And right as one was getting done, the director said, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not right. It's not right. I don't go back and shoot it. And instead of handing it off to a different editor or getting some help or even just reshooting a scene or two, he scrapped the whole thing. Have not heard from him. Just disappeared, moved on. And that happens all the time. There's commercials I've done where they've paid really well. Thank you, Kia. That for whatever reason that we shot the commercial for this season's sale, and then
And
that
it
sale
wasn't
moves on. It
used.
never
Yeah.
it never even comes out. It happens all the time. And then you go do a Nothing Hymns commercial that I shoot in my kitchen, and that residuals keep coming. So it's a
Right.
weird industry, but what I found is if you do the things you want to do and that you believe in, it seems to work out a lot better than the ones where you're just going, it's a good paycheck. Because it's gonna be a bad experience,
So
but the money's
you're
good.
saying like if you try and follow the trend just because of the trends, it actually doesn't work out. Whereas if you kind of like follow your instinct and what you're
Yeah.
inspired to do, it actually works out way better.
Yeah, and it's not even just a money thing. Sometimes, you're an actor, you get this thing where you have to work, you got to work, you got to work, you got to work. And when you're younger, you do. You need to go do all those crappy movies. You need to go every bad movie that you can possibly get into just to get the reps, just to learn it. And then once you get to a point where you've done that, and then you've gone and done bigger stuff, and you've come back and done smaller stuff, and you've started to see the full scope, and you know where you fit, and you've got that confidence of, all right, well, there's something I really want. I'm going to go get it, and they may not cast me, but that's what I'm going for, as opposed to I need to jump on every single thing. I need to jump on this commercial. I need to jump on that modeling, on this industrial, on this short film, on this non-paid film, on this thing that's going to pay me with Doritos. I'm going to go for this. And it's just it's a lot. And when you're younger, do it because you need all that experience. But once you've kind of established yourself, take some time and analyze the projects you want to do because you just don't want to waste your time. You don't want to spend a month in pre-production learning a script, creating a character, spending 10 to 30 days on set shooting a movie that probably won't ever get completed, or a film that's going to take 4 years to come out. And by the time it comes out, it's not going to have a marketing plan. They're not going to understand what to do with their distribution. So they're saying, we're going to these festivals, and that's great. Festivals are awesome. What is that doing for my career? Like,
Right.
I'm not going to the Anchorage Film Festival. I'm not going to, the Montpellier Film Festival. It's going to be seen by 50 people. Have a marketing plan. Get this on a streaming service. Get this up on YouTube. Get this somewhere. Put this out into the world and see what happens. So those are the things that I look for now is, hey, not just do you have a good script? Because I don't care about your script. What you shoot's not going to be that unless you've done this a lot, it's probably not going to be that. Like, what's your plan in the end? What are you doing with this film? Where's it going? What's the exposure it's going to get? Do you know who your investors are? Do you know who's putting money behind this and where that money's going to go once we wrap? Because a lot of times you
Right.
have people go like, yeah, we've got 50 grand to make this movie. Great. How much are you spending on the movie? $55,000. What are you going to use to distribute this? What are you going to use to market this? What are you going to use to
Yeah.
edit this? Like, what are you doing with that money? You're just wasting it. I don't want to be a part of this. And I track almost everything I pass on. Um, and I gotta tell you, I'd say 9 times out of 10, I made the right decision because it just goes into the abyss and you never see it again. Or when it comes out like a popcorn fart. No one cares. No one wants to watch it.
Popcorn fart.
Yeah, you go on like Letterbox or IMDb, it's got 7 reviews. And like, what the
Right.
hell is this? Like, thank God I didn't do this. Let me go look what my movie's doing. Oh, 10 million. All right, I made the right choice.
Uh,
Excellent. This one's doing great. Fantastic.
Yeah, no, I think early in the career, like every artist does that, whether they're a writer, like a illustrator, an actor, a director, whatever. Whatever comes down the pike, that's what they do. And after a while, they're like, I don't have to do that anymore. I'm not like 20. I'm not like trying to break in.
Yeah,
Like
once you find your voice, find who you are, and respect yourself. Like, don't just jump at everything. Don't go after
right,
every opportunity because I
right,
did it when I had to do it because you need the reps. So, oh yeah, I'll drive 9 hours for no money to go do this film in Canada. Of course, I'm going to do that because I need the reps and I want the stuff for my reel. And you don't know any better.
right,
So you do it. You do everything. And then you start to learn, well, is travel included? Is food included? Do I get a
right.
stipend? Are you meeting my day rate? Are you? Are you going to make sure that we're filming on a good schedule? Who's the other talent in this? Like, what am I working with here? Because that's another scary thing that's happened to me. You walk on set and you go and you watch the scene, before you're in it, and you see a lot of true first time early on actors, and you go, oh no, oh no, 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 this is going to be rough because I'm going to do my thing, which is 20 something years in the industry, and you're still trying to get off script or you're still trying to get off book. This is going to be rough. We're going to get through this. This is going to be really hard for me. Now, if it's something, I love working with new actors. I love giving back. I think that's something that you have to do. And I love it when, they're bright-eyed and they're that nervous energy and they're excited for a scene or two. But when they're the entire film and we're on day
Right.
four,
It's a little bit hard. Yeah.
yeah, that gets exhausting. But for like a day or two, I can use your excitement and your energy and your nervousness, and we can get a great performance together. I'll point guard us through this. Just follow my lead. You know what you're doing. We're going to be great.
But it's also that everything in moderation. So like it's cool, but it's
Yeah.
not cool if like all of it is that.
Yeah.
All right,
You,
man.
you know,
So what do you have out there? Do you have like a string of films other than the one right now that's like winning the awards? Do you have stuff that you want people to look at?
I mean, they can just, honestly, if you just Google my name, Benjamin L Newmark, everything you'll need to know is going to come up because what I have out now, and it's weird in the streaming area because like Forest to Death launched today. This is like the seventh launch because every time it goes to a new streaming service, it's like a launch all over again. It's like we're premiering it all over again to a whole new audience.
Well, it's
You know,
debuting on that platform. Yeah.
yeah, so people who rent things on Amazon, it's brand new to them. When it goes to Tubi, it's brand new to them. When it's on the Roku channel, it's brand new to them. When it goes to Plex, it's new to them. When it goes to Found, it's new to them. Now it's on YouTube, it's to a whole new audience. So every time it's like, you start getting messages from people like, "Hey, I really love this movie. It's awesome." You're like, "What are you talking? Oh, oh, you just saw it. It's 2 years old already. That's awesome. Cool. I'm glad you saw that. That's great." Like, there's another film I have that it's about to come out. I shot it 4 years ago. It came out on Amazon, and then it went through some distributors. It's a Parch 3, Beached. It's just about to come out, but there are some people that have already seen it a couple of years ago, but it's about to be a new release. So it's crazy how in the streaming world, you can have all these films that just, it's here, it's here, it's here, and it hits that one streamer and it blows up. Like the craziest thing for me was A Cold Grave when it came out on Amazon. It did okay. Like we were happy with it. We made our money back. Like I felt great as an actor. I was more profitable than Burt Kreischer with The Machine. And then it hits Tubi and it's his second launch. You're like, what the hell? Like, oh, it found the Tubi audience. And then it went on to become the most pirated independent horror film in Russia. 10 million views in Russia, the most pirated independent horror film of all time was my film in Russia. And somehow that led it to find another audience here. And now it's launching again on another streaming service. And then in a couple months, I'll probably launch again on another streaming service.
That's good
So
though,
just
right?
yeah, it's amazing because in the old days, if went straight to video. All right, you
Right.
got one relaunch, it's on video. We'll check what's doing in the first 90 days. If it does something, great. If it does nothing, it's out of the store and it's dead. Or you did the festival run and maybe it got picked up, maybe someone saw it, maybe moved on. But if it didn't do anything, that was it.
I,
It was
I remember
over.
it used to be way different because like I remember like when Netflix would like mail you CDs in envelopes. This is my dog, by the way. My dog's like, "Won't leave me alone. Get off."
Hey, puppy.
But I remember when you'd have like a list of like movies you want to see, and like when it was available, they'd mail you one, and it was a lot hard. Like now everything's streaming, so it's like it doesn't matter how many people want to see it, it doesn't matter what they put up. Like they can do it, and it doesn't cost them anything. It's not like they have to have physical DVDs in stock.
Now people just want if they see your cover art and you got a good trailer, they'll watch it. If it's on their platform, they like to. Like, if you're a Roku guy, and I'm just discovering I really like the Roku channel, so I keep referencing it. My son loves Blippy, and he's got a whole channel on Roku.
Mm.
So I've actually found all these great old movies on Roku, and I'm becoming a Roku person. So now I can see that movies launch every day that I've never heard of anywhere else, that their launch is Roku exclusives, and they're all low budget, micro budget films. And I'm a Roku guy now. And I still go back to Tubi. You check out the Tubi new releases. I've never heard of this, never heard of this. This looks awesome. I'm gonna check this out. So it's cool when you hit a new platform, and even, friends, family, that, I got a new movie out, everyone go watch it. And then no one does because you've been doing this for so long. It's just a job
Is
to
your
them and
new
they don't
movie on
care.
all those platforms you just mentioned?
Last Cabin is on Amazon. It's on, I think, Google Play. It's on basically every VOD service has picked it up. So anywhere you can rent a film, it's there. It's The
Okay.
Last Cabin by DBS Films. The primary one is Amazon. I think they gave us the best deal because everyone charges a different rate. So there's some people like this wasn't worth $10, and they're like, "What the hell? Why are you paying $10? Go to Amazon. It's like $4." So
So do they have like a website or like a home for that video or for that movie rather?
uh, no, I mean, the home would just be the page you're watching on the streamer. It's just like any other movie. But
Okay.
if you want to check out DBS, their Instagram, their TikTok, they're on Facebook. Uh, I don't think they're on X or Threads, but they're super interactive. One of the reasons I like working with them is they're
I'm
super
asking
fan
because like
oriented.
some of the like super big budget movies, like they make a website just for that fucking movie. They make a Facebook. I mean, we're also talking
Yeah, I
about stuff
know.
that has like giant budgets. Like okay, $200 million budget, but yeah, they'll do everything from like website to a Facebook page to like an Instagram, everything.
You know what's funny? I see that more with the indie films than I do mega Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's, you know, I, I'm an indie guy. I love the indies. I've touched Hollywood. I come back. And I see a lot of them making the same mistakes where they're trying to present it like it's this larger than life film as opposed to what it really is. So they do, here's the entire Facebook page, and then they spam you with the signups and all that stuff. And here's our Instagram page, they spam you with that. Here's our website, and they spam you with that. And then it's like, bro, just show me the movie. Like, stop telling me everything else about how big this movie. Just show me a trailer and the movie.
Right.
And then if I like it, how do I find your other stuff? Because I'm on your Instagram for your movie, but there's nowhere else for me to go here. You know what would be better? Your production company or the director or someone, you just build it up on there so I can go see your body of work. Like I'd rather do that than have this page that's going to expire in 6 months because you built it and you blew it up and this movie's here and there's so many people in my head. I don't want to say any of their names because I like them all, but they all do this shit. It makes me mental because there's their 300 followers on their Instagram and then they forget about it. So you go look at the last post and it's 2 years ago.
Right.
You go, oh. So like once you wrap the movie, you did nothing, and then you promote it again that it's coming out, and then you do nothing. So it's not even a real page. It's like an update section. Like you could have just done that on your regular page. So it's one of those weird things that always bothers me how much time people spend talking about this stuff that they're not even really doing yet.
Right,
Uh,
kind of like if like say Marvel Comics put out like a new like comic line, like a new Spider-Man or whatever. So maybe there's some Marvel Comics page and they just give you like updates on what they're doing as opposed to like creating the Instagram just for that one comic.
It would be like if like, hey, here's this new character coming, and then here's the page for it, and here's the
Yeah.
teaser for it, and here's all this stuff for it.
Yeah.
And then like, where is this character? Oh, it's coming. It's going to be great. It's going to be revolutionary. It's amazing. By the way, can you give us some money on, can you donate us some money? Would you like to be an investor? But it's a great new character. It's going to be incredible. It's revolutionary. It's going to be the best thing we've ever done. Where is the goddamn character? Oh, here it is. Oh, all right. Now what? It's here. Well, well, what do you want me to do with this character now? Do I like this character? It's there. Here's your character. Moving on. Oh, all right. So that was it. We're done with that. That was all this hype and everything you did was just for
So you're
that
saying
moment.
more like invest people in the story as opposed to just like spam them with a bunch of marketing bullshit.
Yeah, and it's always the same thing. There's never anything that's that original. That's when, again, one of those red flags you look for when you can find people that they don't just know how to make a movie, they know how to sell a movie, they know how to market a movie, they know how to promote a movie, they understand the business and the industry and how to make sure this thing generates a profit. Because ultimately, that's what it's an industry.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing this as a hobby. I'm not doing this because I like making movies, which I do. I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world. But at the same time, like, you
But
gotta
it
pay
also
me
like
for
to
it.
get paid. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm doing this professionally. Like, I'm not working for a hot dog here. So if you don't have that other stuff done, I'm
Right.
not doing it. And you could even see it from some the way casting calls are written, or some of the ways like they talk about the script, and you're like, you have never done this before, have you? Yeah, I'm getting a weird vibe from you. So that's another red flag. And you'll see it when they create the web. God damn it, I saw this again today. Guy created the web page for the movie. He used all these AI generated images for a movie he's talking about making and how it's going to be this great movie and how he's got all these people attached to it. He's got these networks in it. And I've been following this guy for a while. So I look back a couple years. He did the exact same thing a couple years ago. That movie never happened. He did it again a couple years ago. I think he got through 2 days of production. And I'm like, this guy's just not going to learn. Stop talking about it. Just go do it. Like,
Right.
just stop talking about all this great stuff and then all this other crap. Just go make the goddamn movie, man. I just, and- yeah.
No, I know a lot of people like one I own a tattoo studio. So people talking about like that tattoo they've been wanting to get for like, 10 years. And like you're never
Just
gonna
get the
fucking
goddamn
get it.
tattoo.
Yeah. And
No,
then
that's
like the same thing like with art, like, yeah, I'm coming out with something. I love for you to storyboard it. I'm like, well, what's the plan? Are you gonna pay me? No, but when I get paid, you get paid. I'm like, nah, it don't work that way.
that's
Yeah.
how, it's funny with tattoos because I go through these things where it's like, I want it. Once I realize I want it, I'm just going to go get it. So
Right.
I haven't had a tattoo in like 4 years because I don't really know what I want. But as soon as I figure it
Well,
out, I'm
people will
probably
see
just gonna
like my
go get
tattoos
it.
and they'll come and they'll talk to me. Like, by the way, I'm not open to talk about your crappy tattoo. Like, I'll talk to you as a person, not just because I'm a tattoo guy. But like, people come up and they're like, "Oh man, like your tattoos." I'm like, "Oh, thank you." And like, and then they'll start telling me about this like giant project they want. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking want to hear about it. I don't know who the fuck you are. I don't care.
That's the equivalent of that is
A
you make
side
movies?
note,
Yeah.
but
Like, oh, you make movies? Yeah. Let me tell you about this great idea I got for a movie. Oh, no, 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 no.
I'm
Don't.
sure, yeah. Yeah.
Please don't do that because every idea for a movie, every idea is literally a great idea. You have the 100 other steps involved. Because you could tell me a killer lamp is a great idea for a movie, and in my head, I could think about going, yeah, killer lamp. I could see that. I could see a
It
killer
could
lamp.
be if you did
But
it
like,
right.
how
Yeah.
do you make it work? Like,
Yeah.
what is investing people into it? Like, I'm sure a million people say, it'd be a great idea for a movie. Barbie. Barbie would be a great idea for a movie. And it would be. And it was great. The Barbie movie was incredible. Not many people probably had the idea of going to a Barbie world. It's just, but I'm sure there's a million people that said it. Or a guy dresses up and fights crime. Sounds like a great idea. There's been a million of them. What's going to make yours
Yeah,
better?
well, there's a bunch of examples of that, like Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like, it's a movie about a talking raccoon. Nobody's gonna watch that. And then it's like
Um,
one of the biggest Marvel
the
movies.
talking raccoon and a tree.
Yeah, yeah.
No, no one's going to see this. And then you
That
see, like,
first
this
one
is
was great. I love that
brilliant.
first one.
This is
Yeah.
incredible. It's just
But
yeah. I see it with the tattoos where people are like, oh, I'm gonna get this sleeve done. It's gonna be sick.
yeah.
And I'm one of those. Like I've been thinking about it, but I don't know what I want, so I'm not gonna get it. I'm also not really gonna spend too much time talking
Well,
about it.
as long
I
as
have a
you're not the
general
guy who like
idea.
comes across the club or the bar or the restaurant, hey man, like you tell you, all right, let me tell you what I have planned. It's like, dude, I'm not here for that. I'm sorry. Come to my shop and we can talk about it. But I don't like if I'm out at a restaurant, I don't want you fucking bothering me.
Yeah, like you can I think this is just a weird way to approach people. Like, hey
Yeah.
man, that's cool. Good. And I live in a town where we have a lot of professional wrestlers, and I'm a huge wrestling fan. And there are so many times I can meet Brad Pitt would not faze me. Totally cool with that. but I meet an obscure wrestler that maybe 20 people know, and I lose my mind. I
Yeah.
become such a dork that I feel like he's just a person. He's just out shopping. Like, don't be weird. Like, go say hi, acknowledge him, give him a pound, move on. Don't be weird. If he engages you, talk. If not,
Mm,
have a great day. Appreciate everything you do. But inside, I want to be such a nerd about it and go so weird, ask a million questions, and all of them are going to be weird and stupid. I'm going to annoy somebody.
yeah.
And you got to look like that's not how you approach people, especially, if you're on set with a bigger actor, you got to remember, like, we're the same. We're both just here doing a job. It's a work day for us. Like, I can't be weird around you and ask you a million questions until I get to know you and we're cool. Then I'm going to ask you so many questions. Like, I did a film that's coming out later this year, next year, Whispers of the North. And I got to work with Jared Bankins, who's done Bill and Ted. He's in Twisted Metal. He's on NCIS. Like, he was in Venom. He's done so many things. And the first time I saw him perform, I turned to the director and said, "You cast me. I'm the wrong person. I quit. I'm not this talented. I can't do this. This guy's incredible." He was working with an actress named Grace Schnitzis. I can never pronounce her name, but they're so good that when I saw him, I kind of panicked. And then I saw his resume, and then I really panicked. I said, "I can't work with this guy. Like, he's so
Yeah.
damn good." As it turns out, he just made me better. He brought me to his level. And I tried to be as calm as I could, as early as I could. But by day five, tell me about Keanu Reeves. What's Keanu Reeves like? Tell me about Venom. I need to know about Venom. What's Twisted Metal like? And at that point, like, we're cool, so he's fine talking about it. But like day one, I can't go up to him and be like, "What does Keanu Reeves smell like?" Because I need to know.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And
that's a good point. Yeah. You need to make a connection or have a connection with the person. It's weird otherwise.
yeah, and I got to see it where people would show up and they were day players, and they would go up to him and be like, "Hey man, can you get me in touch with your agent?" is and you could tell he's a really nice guy. He doesn't want to say no because I had to work really hard to get my agent and I'd go through a lot of work for it and I'll put my neck out for you. So he was very good at telling people, you want to look here and here. And like, he was very good at getting around it because you can tell he's done it a lot. But just watching how many people would just come up and like, "Hey man, how are you? How's it going? Like, you're in Venom? Can you get me in Venom?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's one of those moments it clicks in your head of
Which is
like,
also kind of a
that's
weird question. That's not how it works.
yeah. Plus, at this point, like you know the guy, and you
Yeah.
start to remember, like, right, like we're all people, and it's that I used to give this advice to my friends when they would go talk to girls. I say, if you ever get nervous talking to a pretty girl, just remember one, we're all equal, and if you don't understand what I mean, imagine her going through the drive-through drunk 4 in the morning, getting Taco Bell, and just know what's going to happen. That beautiful woman that you're staring at and you're intimidated by is going to spend the entire next day just shitting her brains out because
Yeah.
she's drunk on Taco Bell. We're all equal. Go say hello. The same person with an actor that's famous, he eats that taco because he shit his brains out. We're all just people. We're all very equal. You just know him because he's done a lot of things you've watched, but it's still a regular guy. Like, just treat him like regular people.
Yeah, no, I know like people get they get really weird and like them being weird makes the other person feel weird and then it's like a whole crazy situation.
Yeah, and it's the times in my life where I got to work with A-list people, always super cool because I think they just understand that people get excited to meet them and they're very cool about it. I've never
Yeah,
really had a
I've
bad
met like a lot of
interaction.
my like artistic inspirations or like writers that I look up to. Cool as fucking people. And actually,
Yeah,
the people that are kind of assholes aren't on that level.
yeah,
Like once you like they probably feel insecure because they're not on that level.
yeah. They feel like they have to be that way,
Yeah,
where as opposed to the ones you meet them, I think they've just done it so many times that they understand how to get through it. And you start to feel bad when you start to see the people go up to them and they hit them with the "Hey, I'm going to pretend to be your friend because I want something from you. Give me money, give me a job, give me something else." And it's For anyone who's listening, who is that person? It's gross. Just work with them. Not everyone's going to be your friend. You don't need to be friends with everybody. You can work with everybody. Some of the people I've done great performances with, I can't stand.
Well,
Some
just
of the people that I
the
love
whole
working
thing
with,
is
I can't work with.
like you said, like everyone's just a person, and just be normal. Just be fucking normal. But
Yeah.
all right, man. So, what do you have? Something that people should look at, like aside from your new film, which apparently is doing great. Do you have like one site that you want to point them towards, or like one thing that they should look this upcoming?
No, just you know what the best thing would do? I guess would either go follow me on my Instagram, Benjamin L Newmark, or just go to my IMDb and just add me as your favorites. This way, anytime there's something new coming out, something's announced, you'll get a notification. It's the easiest way to keep up with what I do. I do with most of my favorite actors or directors. I just favorite them on IMDb. So when a new story comes out, I can follow them. I can see it. Or if it's one of my friends, shoot a message. Hey, good job, man. This looks interesting. Or you're making a terrible career choice. I hope that you're doing this one for the paycheck.
Dude.
Which, it happens. Someone's got to call your
But
friends
I'm
out.
also sure that that's been said a bunch of times. It turned out to be a great career choice. So you gotta kind of go with the gut sometimes.
Yeah, there's some where you're like, iffy, I'm gonna do it, and it turns out to be great. Because
No, but if you're like, I don't care what anyone says, like I'm into this, then maybe someone else is too.
yeah, like I never thought that because I started in 2002 and I left completely in 2011, 2012 ish. I just stopped. And then I got back into it 2021. And my first run was great. I was working off Broadway. I did a lot of good indies. I had a lot of small parts on TV shows. Like it was a fun career. And then I just left because I wanted to have a family. I want to have a very normal life. And then when the normal life went away, I gave it another shot. I never in a million years would have thought my career would have done what it's doing because of horror movies. Because
Yeah.
again, I had been told don't do horror. Horror is bad for your career. But when I got back
Well,
into it, I just
I
wanted
think
to
horror
enjoy
is kind of
myself.
like an upkick in society. Like it's like more like respected now. At least it's at least more recognized as a moneymaker, like ever since like Walking Dead and like all this
Yeah,
other stuff.
it's amazing when I still, honestly, the amount of people that still won't do it, they don't believe in it. When you just look at all of these movies that are making so much money, like Terrifier is such a small budget, it's made so much money. The Conjuring movies make a
Which
killing for like
I'm not
$50
a
million.
fan of Terrifier because I don't think that it's really well written. It's just like shocked in your face all the time. So to me, that's kind of boring. But like I said, like you said, it all depends on the story. It depends on how you saw it, and like there is a market obviously for that.
Yeah, and you don't really see that in many other genres where you can make a movie for $1 million. It turns around and makes $50 million. You
Yeah,
definitely don't have that with comedies. It's almost a dying genre, which sucks. You don't get that with many dramas. There's a few niche markets where you can make a small micro budget, low budget indie film. It's going to make good revenue.
I,
Horror is one of those, like professional wrestling. You put on a wrestling show and you got a name on there, you're going to sell it out, you're going to make some money. With an indie horror film, if you market it and you do what the audience wants, you're going to make some money off it. Now, I've read some scripts, I've done some of my greatest work in dramas, some films I'm super proud of. They don't exist.
well,
They came out.
there's also kind of a dedicated audience for horror. There's not a dedicated audience for like rom-coms, something like that.
But
So
what's crazy is there is, and here's a weird thing, because
really,
I spent a while trying to break into this. It's not for me. I can't. I don't work in that world. I cut my hair a year or two ago, and I went to go do a Hallmark movie. It didn't work out, probably for the best because I don't think I would have been very good at it. They pay so much money that
yeah.
they have to make a killing because they shoot, not in a normal place. So everyone's got to fly in. They got to get a whole hotel for everybody. They're usually shooting in like Kentucky or something. And they pay an insane day rate. I don't understand who's watching these movies or how they're making so much money, but they have to be with the amount of money they're paying for these roles. And it blows my mind that that exists. The part of the reason I want to get into it was just that was just there's this world I don't know that there's a clearly a lot of money in it, and it's weird. 'Cause I talked to some of my friends that have done those films, and they're usually one and done. Like they did it, it did nothing for the career. They got a good paycheck. The movie came, a bunch of people watched it, and it went away. It did not have the staying power, which is one of the things that horror definitely has. Horror has this incredible staying power, like The Thing. People today are probably discovering The Thing. People today are discovering The Shining. People just discovered Jaws 50 years after it came out. Even Forest of Death. As of today, it came out today on YouTube. It's already at 1,500 views. I don't think that's 1,500 people that have already seen the movie that just want to see it again. I would venture to say most of that are probably new people that just popped up in their algorithm that said, "Oh, this looks like fun." Horror has this staying power, and part of that power of just being relevant is great for your career. Like if that movie hits today, I'm more valuable today. But the
Right.
films I did dramatically that came out, they did okay. They're gone. Like they're done. No one is going to see it. No casting director is going to see it. No, the director's going to see it. It was a good performance. It came. I was super proud of it. We all congratulated each other. It went out into the world and died. And it sucks because
Well,
I
also,
a lot of those
if you're in a
movies.
horror movie, you're an iconic character. So it's like, oh, you're that guy. As opposed to if you're in a rom-com, it's like you can be anybody. You can be the guy at the wedding. You can be the guy on the street, whatever.
What's funny is one of the things I like the most is I like to be the first death. If I'm not the lead, I want to be the first death. So in Meth Gator, one of the things I really wanted was, I read for three roles. I really wanted the role because he died first. And I said, like, here's like, I want this because that's so important to me because that's gonna be the one everyone remembers, the first person to die. Film I have coming out next year. I don't spoil it, but it's a big of a twist. It opens, I'm the lead, I'm the hero, I'm the main character. First death.
Yeah.
Last cabin, main character, first death. No spoilers, but like it's a horror movie. Everyone's gonna die. But it's one of my favorite things because whenever you read any review, everyone has to talk about you because you're the first one to go.
You're right.
Everyone's going to at least watch to that point and critique it. And I like it because no one remembers, Death 4. No one remembers Death 5.
Right.
But they'll remember the best
Unless it's like
kill.
super gory and dramatic or
Yeah,
something.
like
Yeah.
the best kill they'll remember, the favorite character death they'll remember, and the first death.
Right.
So give me the first death and a favorite character, nailed it. But if I'm not that, I'm at least the first death. So I have a nice little run where I'm the first person to die, um, or I'm the most likable character that's gonna die. So
Right.
it's a thing about horror where the rom-coms. Eventually, I'm gonna get into one. Something's gonna work, but I don't want to be the lead. I want to be the best friend character because they get to have the most fun. Those
Right.
characters always seem like they're having the greatest time just talking shit to the lead, trying to help them through stuff, and just being fun and in the supporting role. That's what I enjoy for that role. Like if you're in a superhero role, like Superman seems cool, Batman seems cool, but it seems like a lot of fun to play. Jimmy Olsen seems like it'd be a great time to play. Or Commissioner Gordon seems awesome. That seems like a fun character to play. And if you're gonna have,
I was kind of surprised they had Gary Oldman. So I'm like, of all the characters he's done, like in The Professional and like Fifth Element, and then in True Romance, and then he plays this like state, like really restricted character. Like, I mean, he has a huge range, obviously, but I just thought it was weird.
yeah, and I remember when they cast him, I went, that's an interesting choice. And you see him go, oh, I get it. He's perfect.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty much perfect in every role. Like he's
Yeah.
one of the ones that like him and like Daniel Day Lewis, and there are a few that I'm like,
Yeah. It's,
I trust they can pull it off, whatever it is.
it was a weird one that I just thought about that the other day was like Jim Carrey. Whatever Jim Carrey's going to do, he's going to make it work. And sometimes in ways you can't really explain, like the number 23.
I don't know, but some of those comedy actors, like even if they play an out of the box role and they do a good job on it, I still see them as that comic actor. Yeah, I know this whole thing about getting pigeonholed and all that sort of stuff, but like I can't see Jim Carrey playing a totally straight character.
Yeah, but you know what? He very rarely like when he played Andy Kaufman. He like that. I'm a huge Andy Kaufman fan, so I went into it kind of wanting to hate him in it, just because like you can't be Andy Kaufman. I love going. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. There was no Jim Carrey in that. But then you see something like The Truman Show or The Majestic. There's so much Jim Carrey in that, but it just works and it's terrific. And it's just a weird thing that whatever he seems to do, even if it's Sonic, that's Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik, and he's great at it. It's a weird thing. Some actors can just be themselves without being themselves. Like George Clooney for the most part. What is he doing? He's going to be stern. He's going to be a good-looking guy. He's going to use a deep voice, and he's going to hold his pose for a long time and stare in every role. And what? It's going to work. It's going to be great because it's just how George Clooney does things.
Yeah. All right, man. So I don't want to keep you here all day. Is there anything else you want to throw out there to the cosmosphere to like that people should check out? They should they should look at. They should. I mean, obviously, people should watch your movie and give you money. But what else do you have?
No, that's pretty much it right now. Like that's just uh watch the movies. If you don't want to spend the money, I got plenty of free ones out there.
Yeah,
Cold Grave, Forest of Death, Meth Gators out there. Porch 3's coming out soon. The Last Cabin's absolutely crushing it. Coming up either later this year, beginning of next year's Echoes of Evil. It's a great possession movie. Whispers of the North, my first time back into a really strong dramatic performance, which also kind of walks a fine line of horror because it's a dark drama movie based on a real story. Again, keep up with me on IMDb. Just hit the favorites on there. You can see what's going on, or get me on Instagram. If you want to keep up with the horror movies I do, go follow DBS Film Studio. They're my favorite people to work with. They've got another one coming out very soon. They seem to put out about 4 movies a year, and it's DBS Film Studio, but it's basically it's one guy. It's my friend Brendan. He runs a publishing company. He started this film production company, and he is absolutely an animal, a machine at creating films that people want. He's super responsive. So, if you want to watch a film and be part of a community of independent horror, check his films out. I'm in a bunch of them, so I like that. Uh, and if you want to learn anything, feel free to reach out to me, reach out to him. If you watched a movie and you have legit feedback, shoot him a message, get him on Letterbox, get him on TikTok, get him somewhere. He'll respond back to you. Don't just say like, "Hey, your movie's shit," because
yeah,
he'll just say, "Thanks for watching. Why do you give me $3?" But if you're like, "Hey, I really liked it, but this part I didn't get, or this I didn't like, or this was really cool. Maybe you could have done this." He will respond to everyone, and that's a really weird thing. That's again, there's red flags and then there's green flags. He's a super green flag. When you see a guy that takes time out to respond to 1,700 reviews in a day, that says a lot about a person.
yeah.
So yeah, just give me a follow on something, give them a follow on something, check out the films. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you don't like it.
I love you. All right, man. So thank you very much. Thanks for doing this podcast.